I never made it, but I know what it takes. I'm motivated by a mix of emotion. Got my statement, and I'm reading it slow so I can understand it fully. Appreciate my standing, go out of this world and right on time. Oh, never in my life have I seen the sky light up like this. I'm far away from Earth and I wanna know if you exist.
Good morning, students. Today's topic is proteomics. As you all know, proteome means sum total of entire proteins present in a cell. Okay, that means we know the entire proteins present in a cell. And studying of these entire proteins or all proteins is known as proteomics. This includes characterization of proteins as well as mapping or locating or identifying the location of proteins. So this proteomics includes study of location of proteins, function of proteins, sequence of amino acids, protein-protein interaction, and engineering of proteins, studying the stability of proteins, and altogether we can say that characterization of the entire proteins of cell or organism comes under proteomics. See, information about a protein is much important because they are highly dynamic in nature. If you study only genes, we cannot say that there are this much proteins. For example, in a human being, there are 3 billion base pairs of DNA and roughly we can say 50,000 of genes. But at a time, we cannot see that 50,000 of proteins in a cell. Sometimes 50,000 से ज़्यादा proteins होगा और sometimes 50,000 से much less proteins होगा. That means their presence is highly dynamic. Moreover, it is important to have information about the proteins because they are actually helping in the phenotype of a proteins. Actually, they exhibit functions. Okay, so it's very important to know the functions of proteins also. Mere study of DNA will not give you the full roles of proteins or entire roles of. Okay, now we will see the different types of proteomics. Basically, there are three types. They are structural proteomics, functional proteomics, and expression proteomics. We'll discuss these three later. Now we'll see some modern fields like proteome mining. Actually, this is helping in drug targets. माइनिंग आपको पता है हम लोग एक्चुअली डिग आउट करके कुछ नए मिनरल्स लेते हैं. द सेम वे वी डिग आउट different proteins from a proteome. And then the other important fields like post translational modification. That means after translation also protein makes some changes like glycosylation and phosphorylation. And another important field is protein interactions. That means different protein networks. So all these different modern proteomic studies helping in different ways for the research and other studies. In your textbook, there are three important fields. The first one is structural proteomics. Here actually we are studying the structure of proteins. The sequencing of a protein gives a structure. Also mapping a protein locating a protein, or identifying its amino acid sequence, all these comes under structural proteomics. Structural proteomics also deals with the mapping out of structure and nature of protein complexes in a cell. Organelle will also have some proteins. Subproteomes are also there in the inside the organelle, and all their composition, all their mapping comes under structural proteomics. Protein complexes means different proteins working together as a complex will also comes under the structural proteomics. Now functional proteomics. You know, it is a very broad term for many specific directed proteomic approaches, and these approaches are actually used to analyze the properties of different protein networks. For example, in mitochondria, there are different proteins working together. If we study these proteins and their functions and how do they accomplish their functions inside the mitochondria, that comes under functional proteomics. You know, we had a study of chymotrypsin. That chymotrypsin, how it catalyzes, you have seen the action of chymotrypsin. These studies comes under functional proteomics. Basically, they are used to analyze the functions of proteins. Mouse knockouts are also comes under functional proteomics. Mouse knockouts means we actually inactivate one protein and create a mouse, and what are the difficulties faced by that mouse is studied, and thereby we analyze the functions of that protein. मीन्स एक प्रोटीन को हम इनएक्टिवेट करके उससे क्या क्या तकलीफ हो रहा है उस पर्टिकुलर ऑर्गेनिजम्स को वो स्टडी करेंगे, और दस वील स्टडी द फंक्शन ऑफ दैट पर्टिकुलर प्रोटीन. दिस इज़ वेरी एडवांस्ड टेक्निक है, एडवांस्ड स्टडी है, मोस्ट सोफिस्टिकेटेड स्टडी इन द प्रोटियोमिक्स है, which is known as mouse knockouts. Next is expression proteomics. In expression proteomics, actually we study the quantitative study of protein expression between two samples. Expression of proteins between different samples are actually studied and compared by this technique. Okay, this will be helpful even for studying the expression of proteins between a cancerous cell and a normal cell. So actually we use two-dimensional gel electrophoresis, mass spectrometry and all other studies to know the expression of different proteins between two samples, maybe one diseased and another normal. So this is in just a comparative study of expression between two samples, that comes under expression proteomics. Our next topic is number of genes versus number of proteins. See, the analysis of mRNA actually gives us information about proteins, but you know, this mRNA does not speak about the entire proteins of a cell. As you all know, the gene expression is having three parts, that is DNA to RNA, which is known as transcription, and RNA to protein, that is known as translation. After translation, the proteins are formed. For example, if a cell is having 100 mRNA, then we say there are only 100 proteins. This is not a fact. Why? Because in the case of eukaryotes, after formation of mRNA, that is pre-RNA, there are hundreds of modifications happening on that, which are splicing. They remove the introns. Here you see there are three exons A, B, C, which can be formed in many combinations. Moreover, after the splicing, we can see there are editing which is done by some micro RNAs. So all these editing will result in different types of mRNA at different occasions. And even after the transcription, in translation also there are some upregulations and downregulations. And okay, once the protein is formed, that is after translation, then also you can see a lot of changes like glycosylation and phosphorylation. This is happening on the proteins. So in general, we can say that number of genes are not equal to number of proteins, especially in the case of eukaryotes, because they are undergoing lots of changes. So number of proteins never gets equal to number of genes.